Well, here I am, the rising of the sun. Beautiful, really. This is one of my little garden rings here. It's quite beautiful. Rapeseed, what they call in Australia called canola. And yeah, we've got all different types of plants in here growing. Cosmos and Nigella. And gardens continue down there. Then we've got these ones here. All of them have got their own character. This rapeseed has gone to seed now, which is great, which I can now disperse to other gardens. Got all types of plants in here. The insects playground. Really, this is a new favourite that I've got. The red clover, really beautiful. Look at the little beautiful red flowers I have on that. Oh, there's one down there. Lovely. It hasn't come up. I put a lot of seeds out. Didn't come up as I would have liked. Weigela, look at that Weigela. Never fails all summer. Look at the flowers on that. It's growing tremendously strong. All different types of plants and flowers. Even got some spinach here. That's some of it's gone. I just put this out, but you can pick the greens off that. But this has all gone to seed. But I love that. And yeah. So each one of these circular gardens are all unique in themselves. They've got their own character, as I said earlier. They kind of evolve. This is an Icelandic poppy, the world's biggest poppy. And what's really nice about this one, it does grow from seed perfectly, but also grows from little what do you call it, side shoots, like a pineapple. You can sort of dig the corner out. And look at this, look at my little snails having a nice little nibble there. People hate snails, but these snails, they actually give off compost. So they're now eating the stems of the, I love my snails. Howdy guys, how are you? My snails are eating the stems. They don't touch the flowers at all. They don't touch the plants, but they're eating the tulips and daffodil leaves that have now finished. And look at this variegated variety of Weigela. Oh, that little beauty there, right there. Silver dollar bush here. Really, this variety's got some of them. You've got the very large dollar, and you've got all the seeds are in those little pots there. They're also easily dispersed. Lovely, sustainable looking plant, really lovely. This is butterfly weed, they call it. But look at the head of the flower that's about to come out. And there's is there little insects on there or something? I don't know. Having a little feed. They're not actually, oh no, that's the leftover of snails droppings, as I told you earlier. But that the water hits that and drops down. But this is, look at this butterfly weed. Oh. So many more things to come up, and really lovely. So let's go and have a look. This other garden here, nice. So we've got the Icelandic poppy and all types of things. Look at these tulips coming up here. Now this is interesting. This is in the same family as the wandering heart. We've got about 4 or 5 different varieties. This one is a yellow. So you know you've got the lonely hearts or wandering hearts that go out on a stem. I think there's a couple of examples around, but this one's the yellow one. Very rare, actually. Very excited about that one too. Crocus. Lovely. They'll come full out. They'll come out as the sun rises. Now look at this. Hello, Mr. Weigela. How are you? Why are you not planted all over London? Why are you not planted in the whole of the UK? This is this has this kind of flowers all summer. I find it. I grew that from cutting, actually, just from a cutting, and. So we've got a lot of food for the snails here. They're eating all those stems down of those daffodils. G'day mate, how are you? How's your little family? Pretty good? I love you snails, you're wonderful. You're all part of the sustainable system. You know why people don't like snails? Because they don't have anything else, they've got nothing else to feed on but your flowers. In here, in this garden, it's full of snails, but they don't eat the flowers. They only eat the stuff that they should eat, which is finished flowering. All that green there, they're going to eat all that. All their droppings go into the garden. And that's just self-sustainability. You don't need human beings to intervene. Yeah. Morning, how are you, love? You all right? I'm having a little walkabout.
I can see that.
And a little talk.
How are you?
Me? So there we go. I'm going to walk up. These are traditional oak trees. I don't want to lay claim, but effectively there was a funding granted for these oak trees, and I inquired about it, and yes, and unplugged the clog that stopped them from being planted. So we got these lovely hybrid oak trees, swamp oak and traditional oak. And the reason why they're really good trees, because the oak tree traditionally is, you know, there's a lot of insects that bore holes, etc. But the swamp oak, it's got a lot. It's very sappy, and any holes that there's any attempt to any holes, they get repaired very quickly. So it's a very, very good tree, in the sense that its longevity. It should be here for a long time. So we've got these oak trees here planted. I did most of the pruning at the bottom there to try and get the plant's trunk in a nice, good condition. And we've got some fantastic growth up there at the moment, and all the way down the pathway. Yeah, so it's got like a little forest starting up here. And beautiful, those trees. And so this is another sustainable ring, which I lay claim to, of course. So I've got this stuff here, sort of connects to your clothes. That's how they disperse. I don't even know what they're called. Apparently these are edible, so I don't know much about them. So we've got our lovely silver dollar plant there, and I put this stump in here just to give a little bit of contrast. It's not an old tree, it's just a stump that I put in there to feed the insects. And yeah, there's all got onions there, old onions which I planted, and all types of stuff. So it's got its own little character. I might get a Weigela in the centre of that eventually. These are not as developed as the others, but still, nevertheless, there's a lot of action and activity going on. See this paper here, this is McDonald's wrapping. I see how the snails are eating that. So if you put that in there, the snails actually eat that. It's food for them. So you can put cardboard and soft paper in. They'll devour that as well. They're like my little workers, my snails. I love my little snails. Hi, how are you guys going? You're doing a good job. Really appreciate you being in my garden. Thank you. A lot of people hate you, but I love you. Look at this Icelandic poppy coming up there, lovely. I'm sure that's an Icelandic poppy. Didn't know them to have thorns like that. No, it's got no thorns. Look, there they are, eating the stem right next to my poppy. My little snails are eating the stem of that, the old daffodil stems. Having a good little time there. Thank you for all your compost, appreciate it. This is a wild grass that I put in, it's very, very decorative. Grasses are amazing, to be honest. They give off little seeds, and look, there's little insect crawling on there, I don't know if you can see that. It's like a miniature grasshopper right on there. Very unusual, all different types of things these insects can sort of latch onto. There we go with our little. Let's go. This one's a bit. The council have tried to destroy this garden a few times. by overloading it with leaves. They know I like leaves, so they just pumped it full of leaves, but I don't mind because my little snails will slowly devour this. This is a little bit under development, but we're getting there. I'll pull those, they're twistweed them, but I will pull them out. They give great organic matter, so all these weeds here can be ripped up. I've ripped a lot of them up and used them as a compost. So there we go. I think this could be twistweed, but I will pull that out. And it's, like I said, the leaves are amazing. There's our little snails at work again. G'day, mate. How you going? Having a good life? You're welcome in my gardens, mate. No chemicals here for you. You come here and you can eat as much as you like and do your little droppings, create natural fertiliser for my garden. And very much appreciated. Thank you. So yeah, this was a pile of leaves about this high. It was like right up. And but it's slowly being devoured. I don't mind. I can pump my leaves full of. I saw them dumping the council dumping their leaves on my little pile, laughing at it. But he who laughs first will laugh last. I don't know how that works. Something about, apparently I'm supposed to be the one laughing at the end, which I don't really understand. So there we go. There's my little circular gardens here outside of Kentwell Close, and these are sustainable gardens. We've got a little watering container. Yeah, we've got the old plastic, but you guess what? I just got to bend down and pick it up. Is that so hard? So we've got a little water supply there for the insects and the birds. I should drop that in so they can get access in. They've got a little rock there. They can land on that rock. But yeah, so I think some of the poor snails have unwittingly passed away in that little container. But anyway, hopefully the foxes have got some nice water to drink. No one thinks of the animals much. But there we go. Let's go on into Kentwell Close. So this is along the pathway outside Kentwell Close. No, this is not one of my gardens. This is the council garden. This is how the council look after their gardens. Yeah, this is the council's garden. This is their work. Yeah, so council, well done. This is how the council looks after all the rubbish and thorny bushes. Nothing there, no life. I planted this periwinkle here to at least get some nectar to the bees. So let's go on to Kentwell Close. Sun is shining, lovely playground for the kids. So, good morning, son. How are you? Yes, okay. I did plant that butterfly bush and that bay leaf tree. I did plant that, but I did do this garden, but it's gone to disarray. This was a little dead area. Willow weed. That does give a fan. Well, here's the periwinkle I planted on the bare soil here. It's growing quite nicely. Look at those lovely little flowers. Glossy leaves. Well suited to dry, rainforesty type conditions. There's a butterfly bush there with a flower. And here we go to my little sustainable area. Look at that lovely loquat tree. Not loquat. I don't know the name of it right now. Is it? No, that is a loquat tree. Loquat tree, yeah. So this is our little Christmas tree here. So I planted this, and let's have a look and see what's going on around here. So this is I do a circle garden, and I do the cutting here, and this is a little circle that I leave, little circle ring, to let nature grow wild. We've got blackberries, and we've got a lovely little fig tree here growing, and we've got all different types of blackberries again on the bush. We've got the fig tree. Now, apparently, we can actually eat the leaves. There is a recipe on how to cook these leaves. Amazing, isn't it? Just love the way that the insects and all the interplay of stuff in there. Lovely. These are giant daisies, nigella. I put that little log there just to try to provide a little bit of nutrient for the bush there that I planted. What about behind me? That looks interesting. Let's go and have a look what's going on here. This is a little area that I set up. Got the variegated phalaris grass there, and yeah, this is where I put a lot of the leaves, and I just put cardboard. All over there is a lot of raspberries. They'll be coming on. There's flowers on them. We've got our sage, and I did up this pathway here sustainably. Takes time. And we've got our black currant here. Look, it's full of flower and ready to give its fruits off. You can see it all there, all the flower and pollen and nigella in between. Pretty lovely. Yeah, butterfly bush. Yeah. Got our Florida Weigela. This is one of my favourite, of course. This is forest sunflower. Basically, it grows from its roots in the ground and spreads. This will grow up to almost over about 6 foot plus. And there you go. All different stuff going on here. A lot of greens, a lot of mulch, leaves. This is a little bit sickly. I'm hoping the sun will blast that one away, all that disease. It's a kind of a fungus. Could be something happening in the roots, but hopefully we'll mulch it up and let the sun, and hopefully that will find its way. Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen there. Little containers that I made up. These are discarded stainless steel containers, which I think are absolutely a wonderful opportunity to extend a bit of life and reuse these containers and save our planet. This is not sage, this is I know what this is. I can't remember. Morning, how are you, mate? Yeah, lovely morning, eh? Yeah, so we got over here. Another Bedelia. Look at all this stuff that's going on. I've got a little compost bin here. There's a hole in the bottom. So this is where you can come and people come here from our state, and they put in their compost, and it breaks down, and the insects from underneath come up. Right. Now this is what I love. Look at this fig tree. I planted this. You look up here. Grew it from cutting. Look at this. Look at the figs growing on there. We're at the beginning of summer right now. What that means is that these, by the end of summer, they're going to ripen up. A little bit overgrown, but I don't mind that, the old doveweed, because you can roll it up as a compost. I'll probably show you how to do that one of these days. That's some sort of a cherry of some description. I don't know, maybe a black cherry. We've got the bay leaf, and we've got the Weigela. Yeah. So yeah, so it's quite interesting what's going on. I've got a little seating area I provided for the children. Yeah, they love their little seats. The little kids come and sit down on their little picnic table. There's nothing better to watch children sitting at their, they're so enthusiastic for life, and we really want to try to maintain that enthusiasm with children so they can go on and build a better world. Here we got the forest sunflower again. This is one of my favourites. I've got the Pallowinia tree up there. That's a full-size one. It's in flower right now. All the leaves are edible by animals. If you have sheep, you can feed them all those leaves there. This is goji berry from the Himalayas. Apparently someone told me you can't grow it here. I'm doing quite well within my sustainable environment. They grow from cutting. They give, well, all the leaves can be eaten, used in tea. They attribute the longevity of the Himalayan people that live up to 130, it's been recorded, from drinking or consuming this bush here. So I've got that growing. Now look at this Bristol ruby Weigela, another Weigela, who's obviously, you can see it's one of my favourite. And look at this, we've got olive, grew that from cutting, or marcotting actually. Got it to grow on this. We've got strawberries growing in containers for the kids so they can just have a little play. Yeah, so I've done a few little, this was attacked by some children at one stage and I put some clay in there to repair it. It's coming along. This is our resident olive tree. And you start to realise, appreciate what an olive is because it goes through all types of hardship and it produces olives, which it's in flower right now. You can see the flowers on there. And in my house I've still got a jar full of olives, yeah, from this tree. So it's pretty. Look at the way it just sculptures itself around. This is a peach tree, which I grew from seed, and getting its warmth from the tires help warm up. It has a diurnal effect, about 12 hours. So in the daytime, warms up in the sun, and at night time when it's most coldest, it re-radiates its heat to the plant's roots and keeps it warm. There is a water supply. I don't drain my tyres because the humidity, I like the presence of water. It's captured by these leaves, but there's water in there. If you're worried about breeding mosquitoes, put a bit of kerosene in there. But anyway, with this, we have this jasmine here. It's just starting to shoot up, and we've got there's all types of things going on in here. Sage, this is a green variety, and this is St. John's wort. We've even got our kangaroo sign. Apparently, I'm here in England. Apparently, there actually is a kangaroo within the 10 kilometres. It's stipulated on this sign. It's in a zoo around 10 kilometres away, 9 or 10. Anyway, so this is a blackberry climbing up this hibiscus bush. So, yeah, again, warmed by that tire down below. And have a look at my little spectacular Weigela, one of the first trees I planted in my garden here. So it's really lovely. Periwinkle, which sometimes I'm a bit frightened to plant, but it does produce such a lovely flower. Purple sage. This really is a beautiful tree. This Bristol ruby, I've got to say. Oof. Flowers nearly all summer. Pollen all summer. What a beauty, hey? So let's go and have a look at this. I won't take you through my garden area just yet. There's some hedges. A little work in progress here. I'm going to trim off this edge here so we can walk around that tree. Just minimise that hedge a little bit so we can free things up to our pond here. A little nature pond. Orchid lily. So there is a white rose there which needs to be propped up. I really need to get that sorted. Because as soon as the snails see that it's drooping down, I'll start devouring the flower. I don't mind. Potatoes in a bag. What else we got here? Oh, some of these new gardens I've started up here. My usual sustainable rings, yeah. Just takes about 2 years to get them actually working properly. So you can see all types of things happening, like spring onions there. This is a celery, a replanted celery that I planted. So this is how some people live, and the council, this is what they do. So you can see, you've got all that beauty, and then you've got all this. Look at this. People actually live in that apartment there. And yeah, they don't even bother picking up the rubbish. Yeah, see, I can put this, I can actually put this watermelon. I put this old watermelon in my garden, because my plants will devour that. Not my plants, my insects. Yeah, look at that rubbish there. They quite happily go in there without cleaning up. Uncultured people, unfortunately, will turn that a bit upside down, but that becomes food for my insects. Yeah, so I'm still building up this area. It will increase in size a little bit, and I better put this. Yeah, this is my rubbish that I collected earlier. I'm looking around with it strangely, so we'll put this right inside the bin. It's just over here. Look, just put the bin. Yeah, rubbish bin. Yeah. Well, actually, it's right next to a rubbish bin right there. Rubbish bin, yeah. Okay. So this is I collect all the leaves and make compost. All my leaves around the area here. I have a composting little area there. You wouldn't believe how amazing that compost is when I dig down in there and get it. Oh, a bit of rubbish. I'll have to come back and clean that. But yeah, these are some of the sustainable ones. I don't really like to cut the grass, so I just cut these little paths. Should let nature take its course, and it's all types of insects and birds and stuff. But yeah, this is under development here. Another little. This was a kind of an experiment. That's potatoes in a cardboard box. So this was a completely dead area, devoid of any life. And I've been building this up sustainably. We're putting in sticks and leaves and a little bit of soil that I find around. I'm building this up. See, I've just thrown those conifer cuttings, which is not the best, but they will break down. So I built up this little area from nothing, so it's now going sustainably. There we go. See, it's all under development. That Weigela should grow in years to come. But yeah, you just throw in what you can. I put cardboard in there as well. So this is being built up again. I've got so I've got my little plum tree there in the middle, but I'll slowly build that up. And this is where the chickens come and scrape around. I get soil from here as well. Put my potting mix, sort of scrape it out of there. Yeah, there you go. So this is a little tour. This is my place. Got a little nursery here. I've got a straw hut, solar light. Yeah, this is where I do all my work. People donate stuff to me here, all different potatoes and weights and all different types of stuff. This is where I do all my work for the community. And the seedlings going on here, they'll be all put out. Some of those lovely flowers that you've seen around, these are the seedlings of those. So they'll be put out during the summer. Anyway, we'll probably do a bit more of a tour later. Thank you.